Again, this is the practice form from Moodle, so if you lose the paper I gave you, you can always go on to Moodle and download this practice form. So what we're going to do is go through some of these transactions on it. And the first one says, sold merchandise on account to Susan Jones for $200 plus 5% sales tax. So because dates aren't listed, only numbers, let's just put the number here in the date column. For this specific transaction, what's going to be our debit? Good. Accounts receivable, because it's on account. So we're going to put accounts receivable. And what else do we know we need to put? Good. You have to put the customer's name now. Whenever you put accounts receivable, put the customer name. So because I'm going to be careful, what am I going to put in the post-reference column? A slash. That just reminds me that when I post, I have to post both to accounts receivable and to S. Jones in the subsidiary ledger. And what's the amount of this? $210. I thought the sale was for $200. Plus 6%, or 5%, I'm sorry, sales tax. So 5% of $200 is $10. So S. Jones owes me $210. What's my credit go to? Excellent. For how much? Is that right? 200. You guys are good. The next one is another credit for sales tax payable, because that $10 that we're going to collect in sales tax is now a debt for us, but because we're going to have to pay it to the government. But right now we're going to try to collect it from this customer. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Sold merchandise on account to James Kelvin, $120 plus 5% sales tax. Terms are $110 net $30. Sold merchandise on account to James Kelvin. What's my debit? It is accounts receivable and his name. For how much? $126, which is the sale from the $120 purchase and the sales tax associated with it. So therefore, what are my credits going to be for this one? The same as the first one. Sales of $120 and sales tax payable of $6. Doing fine. Third one, again, sold merchandise on account to Maria Weston, $230 plus 5% sales tax. Terms are $110 net $30. Good. Accounts receivable, Maria Weston. And the full amount's going to be how much? Excellent. $241.50. It includes the $230 sale plus the appropriate 5% sales tax, which will give you $241.50. And again, it's sales for the amount without the sales tax and sales tax payable for the amount of tax that we apply. Okay, on the 4th, it's a little bit different type of sale. You're going to sell merchandise for cash to various customers. So it's just the total cash sales for the day. $450 plus a 5% sales tax. What am I debiting this time? Cash. Good. Cash. We're receiving money from them. How much money did we receive? You guys are fast. $472.50, which includes the $450 from the merchandise plus the appropriate sales tax that we add to it. So what is my credit for this one? Yep. Sales. Good. Sales tax payable. So the only change is the account debited. That's fine. We're going to do one more on here, and then you're just going to have to turn the page over and just write them without lines. I think you could probably do that. But let's do one more. Then I'll let you work on it yourself. Number 5, Susan Jones returned $80 worth of her purchases for a credit to her account. She's returning merchandise. Good. Sales, return and allowance, I abbreviated R&A. And anything else? Yeah. If she's returning merchandise, then she also gets credited for the tax on that merchandise. So let's see. How much merchandise should she return? $80. How much tax goes with $80? So what are we going to also debit? Good. Sales tax payable. We're going to reduce that liability for sales tax because we're not going to have to pay it. It's merchandise returned. And that's going to be for 4. So what is my credit going to be? Good. Accounts receivable and Susan Jones. And because it's accounts receivable, whoops, we're going to put a line here for post reference, meaning we're going to have to do 2 postings, and the amount's going to be $84. So again, she's getting credited for not only the merchandise return, but for the tax she also paid on that merchandise. Fair? Yes.